Good morning, everyone. I'm still upstairs. Yes. Came across something yesterday, and someone uh, voiced, wrote about the resentment of someone else that someone else has. And interestingly, the way he said it, as well as it built up resentment, accrued resentment, eh, because of something that someone else did. And I thought, yeah, okay, all right. Uh-huh. Then I thought about it and gone, well, now whose problem is that? Yes? Uh, I said that so many times. We're all individuals and do things a little differently, even on the side of goodness. And isn't resentment something that, well, I choose to be resentful or not? Yes? I choose to love or not. I choose to hate or not. I choose to be happy or not. Yes? Don't we make that choice ourselves? If when it comes to all these emotions, on how we want to accrue, what we want to build up. So that resentment, that okay, and here again, I went in and asked, so how do you know that person has all that resentment? Do you know the person personally, or are you just assuming, creating rumors about someone else on what their emotions are? I find that interesting. I find that interesting, and I find that odd that people do that. I thought, well, so here again, we have to take a good look at ourselves and say, well, that resentment is not coming from anywhere else except from inside of ourselves. I find too that when one has resentment, or I've seen, when one, okay, so say I'm getting resentful about someone because often because they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, right? Yeah. Uh-huh. And then that just kind of, it stays that way. That's it. Yep, I'm being resentful now towards that person. Well, how does one resolve emotions like that within oneself if that's actually starts to happen? One should really start, you should be worried. Oh, worried about the other, worried about yourself, because you're starting something that then, well, where does that lead? The cause is we are building something, either good or bad, up within ourselves. Nobody seems to be having a problem. Oh, when happiness comes our way. Oh, our way. When we build up happiness, joy, success, on the side of goodness. That's always what I'm talking about, unless I mention something different. No one has a problem with that. Yes, we take the credit for that. Proud of ourselves. We take the credit for that. Our hard work, this and that. That's also a build up of, right? We take credit for that. Well, I'm not going to give credit to anybody else out there for my own happiness. Right? Yes, okay, of course, people do things that make you happy, but that's still your emotion. Right? People could do something that they think that will make you happy, and you're going, yeah, that's not what I wanted. That's not really actually making me happy. Okay, just saying that. Yes. So again, I make a choice. Is that going to make me happy? Is that joyful to me? Is that something I'm proud of? Are you getting my drift? Yet, when it comes to the negative emotions, it's always somebody else's. There's always someone else to blame. Yeah, isn't that the same? Isn't it the same as the other way around? We create resentment, anger, hate, discontent, all these emotions. We create those within ourselves, not the people out there. Yeah, see? Yeah. So just to have that realization, if you come across something that kind of irks you, this about another person, for me, I just go straight to the source. Say, hey, how did you? And then I ask first. What did I say yesterday in the video? I listened first. Yeah. Was he really? Was this just an intent conversation, or am I seeing this right from the body language and all? Right? So often I ask first, so how did you mean that? Or how are you planning to solve this? Because I'm kind of involved in a way. Right? How are you planning to take care of that? Right? Yes? So things stay what? Stable, right? Our surroundings stay clear, okay, clean and clear, and yes, good for everyone. I go straight to the source and I ask to start with. Then, when there's kind of okay, yeah, okay, so they realize, all right, you're okay. They're not quite doing what they're supposed to be doing, or doing something they're not supposed to be doing. Then I ask them, why are you doing that? What's the purpose of that? Yes. So, you see, if there is conflict with emotions that you feel others are creating within you, then go and get clarity. Find out why. Do you know the reason why people do a lot of things out there that seem to irk us, or we're dissatisfied with, or, yeah, build up resentment? Is because we're the ones who are, what? Stagnant? So is this just these are negative emotions that we are blaming others on? That they created that within ourselves? Are we just using that as another excuse to not actually face where we are at in life when it comes to, especially, emotions have a lot to do with our spiritual growth? Yes. Anchored in what? A God-centered life. Huh? Interesting? Just thought I mentioned that. So let's get going. I'm back into the Living Bible. I kind of just skimmed through what I read yesterday out of the King James Version, and it's a bit different. It's a little bit different. The content kind of is the same, yeah. But I might have talked a bit different yesterday if I read this part here yesterday out of this Bible than what I did yesterday in the other one. But it is what it is. I'm going with the flow here, guided by, okay, Spirit World, God Center. Yeah. And there is that. Now I'm upstairs and I'm reading out of this one again because my other one that I really want to read out of doesn't have these chapters in it. They're missing. I don't know why. I got a faulty Bible. All right. So we're in the first book of Chronicles 23. By this time, David was an old man. So he stepped down from the throne and appointed his son Solomon as the new king of Israel. He summoned all the political and religious leaders of Israel for the coronation ceremony. I'd like to mention something here. And in this one, it says it as well. Solomon was, how did they describe that again here? God said here to David that his son was tender and let's see, I should have. Also, Solomon translated means peace. Solomon, my son, so David says, is young and tender. And supposedly that's the reason why God wanted Solomon to be the next king. Young and tender. And it almost sounds to me like, oh, so he's weak. It takes a weak person to want peace because you know that you can't fight. And I'd find that, again, odd on how this is in here on what a strong a strong and muscled, abled, okay, middle-aged son is already not qualified to become king because he may have already been too influenced by all kinds of different things? Or a strong, as I said, real alpha male can't do the job of being a peaceful leader? Yeah, right? Okay, it's probably not meant that way, but it kind of comes across that way, even in the other Bible, right? Okay. All right. Just wanted to mention that. I find it odd on how these things are written down here in such a way. Well, they could all. Okay, I'm not going to get further into it. All right. He summoned all the political and religious leaders of Israel for the coronation ceremony. At this time, a census was taken of the men of the tribe of Levi who were 30 years or older. The total came to 38,000. Oh, not young and tender ones? That's too bad. 24,000 of them will supervise the work at the temple, David instructed. 6,000 are the bailiffs and judges, 4,000 will be temple guards, and 4,000 will praise the Lord with the musical instruments I have made. What? Then David divided them into 3 main divisions named after the sons of Levi: the Gershon division, the Kohat division, and the Merari division. Subdivisions of the Gershon corps were named after his sons Ladan and Shimei. These subdivisions were still further divided into 6 groups and named after the sons of Ladan: Yael, the leader, Setham, Joel, and the sons of Shimei, Shelemot, Haziel, and Haran. The subclans of Shimei were named after his 4 sons. Yahat was greatest, Sisa was next, Tzitza was next, and Yush and Beriah were combined into a single subclan because neither had many sons. The division of Kohat was subdivided into 4 groups and named after his sons Amram, Itzhar, Hebron, and Uziel. Amram was the ancestor of Aaron and Moses. Aaron and his sons were set apart for the holy service of sacrificing the people's offerings to the Lord. He served the Lord constantly and pronounced blessings in his name at all times. As for Moses, the man of God, his sons Gershon and Eleazar were included with the tribe of Levi. Gershom's sons were led by Shebuel, and Eleazar's only son, Rehabiah, was the leader of his clan, for he had many children. The sons of Ishar were led by Shelomit. The sons of Hebron were led by Uriah, Amariah. The sons of Hebron were led by Uriah. Amariah was second in command. Yahaziel was third, and Jekameam was fourth. The sons of Uziel were led by Micah, and Isaiah was the second in command. The sons of Merari were Mahli and Mushi. The sons of Mahli were Eleazar and Kish. Eleazar died without any sons, and his daughters were married to their cousins, the sons of Kish. Mushi's sons were Mahli, Eder, and Yeremot. In a census, all the men of Levi who were 20 years old or older were classified under the names of these clans and subclans, and they were all assigned to the ministry at the temple. I thought they were all of 30 and over. For David said, "The Lord God of Israel has given us peace, and he will always live in Jerusalem. Now the Levites will no longer need to carry the tabernacle and its instruments from place to place." This census of the tribe of Levi was one of the last things David did before his death. The work of the Levites was to assist the priests, the descendants of Aaron, in the sacrifices at the temple. They also did the custodial work and helped perform the ceremonies of purification. Man, I'm having a hard time reading this morning. I wonder why. I didn't have that much coffee. No espressos. They provided the bread of the presence. Oh. the flour for the grain offerings, and the wafers made without yeast, either fried or mixed with olive oil. They also checked all the weights and measures. Each morning and evening they stood before the Lord to sing thanks and praise to him. They assisted in the special sacrifices of burnt offerings, the Sabbath sacrifices, the new moon celebrations, and at all the festivals. Huh, the new moon celebrations. Seems to me they were going by some kind of calendar, the new moon. Interesting. There were always as many Levites present as were required for the occasion, and they took care of the tabernacle and the temple and assisted the priests in whatever way they were needed. So, what do I find interesting in this one? Oh, I'm sure. So, what you got complain? You have to complain about this one? Nothing. It is as it is. It is as it was. We know from earlier chapters on how displeased, and in other books, the Book of Kings, and how displeased God was continuously with the kings of Israel and Judah. And the reason for it was what? All these idols, all this other worship going on. Instead of having what did I say in the beginning? God-centered, knowing, not just practicing something because you're being told to do so, but knowing within yourself, that's the way to go. This is the right way. To have this emotion within you on how to truly make God the center of your life, of your family's life, your surroundings' life, and advocate that in your nation, and then of course around the whole world. God-centered. And when you do that, when you truly do that and you start to understand why you're doing it, the elation that it gives you, really, I know the feeling to be elated, the satisfaction that comes with that, then you don't have to be told anymore. You're not going to be constantly riddled with doubt. Is that it? Is that it? Is that it? Is that it? Or the need for something else. Tempted again and again by something else that might have greater value to worship or to acknowledge, to make that the center of your life rather than God. Yeah, just saying. So, like this passage, the effort that David made again before his death. Okay, I could say, well, just another show, right? Man, if I do that, I'm sure hoping that my place in heaven is secured, right? Yeah, because God just told him before, man, I can't, you know, I don't want you to build that temple for me. That's what they say here. If that really happened, that's questionable to me. It's because God said what, actually, and this last ditch effort to I got all this ready and for my son to go, and started it all. But the one thing that comes to my mind more than anything else reading this is, so you did know. You did know. You do remember. You're not ignorant, not uneducated when it came to on the rituals, the taking care of sin, the Sabbath. Just saying. And putting the Levites in charge, because that's what God said to do, so they know. during David's last days as king on earth. Things were in motion that tells us that they knew. It was handed down from Moses and Aaron. Yes? Why did it get lost so quickly then? Yeah? Again, now I feel like that certain parts of Israel and Judah, later on, now you can't blame something else out there for not continuing to have God as the center of your nation. Because there it kind of says, hey, yes, it was put all in place. It fell apart so quickly again. Talking about resentment, I can assume is the reason the Israelites were not willing to have God as their center is because so much bloodshed and natural disasters was laid at God's feet, and the people didn't like it, became resentful towards God. Sad, huh? Sad what we're capable of as human beings. I want to make this a short one. I got things to do, but really something to think about, I think, on where our true emotions come from, and if we're affected by other people emotionally, we have to look at ourselves again as the individual, as ourselves, and say, wait a minute, I'm creating all this within myself. It's not coming from the outside. The effect, there may be a cause, but the effect on how it affects us, we make the decision. Right? Yes. Okay, well, there you go. And then, if you notice, whoa, I'm really having a hard time with this one. Why? Is there someone involved that I need to go and talk to? Then first ask questions to clarify the situation. Yes, also, if there is really some kind of a conflict going on, if you start asking, the other person becomes aware as well, right? Oop, I'm not going to get away with bullying that person, for example. Yes? Okay. All right, there it is. Proud of our little county. Graduation for our seniors is coming up in the schools, and they're doing really, really, really well here. Yes, I know that because my sissy is a substitute teacher, and of course I ask her, how are seniors doing? Graduations come. She says, oh man, Danielle, they're doing so well. Many of them are taking college classes. I mean, not just AP classes, but actual college classes, and are starting out with a great grade resume. Yes, to go on to college. A lot of them. Oh, am I so college driven? I am just as proud of the ones that are going into a trade as well. Right? Yes. Or just go and start to work because, yep, I got money to save up for a family, a car. Yes. Things that I'd like to do out there. And I think due to the fact that God is very much a part in our schools here, and oh, I happen to know the counselor or one of the counselors at the high school here, and she's been there for so many years. She knows everyone. And she's an amazing person. The students love her. Yeah, my youngest one. Yeah, uh, uh, yeah, was there. She was already there with my youngest one as well, and we're somewhat related as well. So anyway, and knowing each other pretty good. And she loved just she says, "Mom, sometimes I just went and hung out with her just to talk. 'Cause my daughter liked to talk." Yes, and and when it came to her, when her time came, to decide about college, this and that, this lady was great help. I worked so much; it was difficult for me to. I did have to step in and help her out. Oh, that was maybe another time. I'll tell that story. Oh well, I'll just tell it now. All right. So she wanted to go to Georgia, Savannah, to a very prestigious art college, and I said, well, okay. I already knew that, man, it's better to you go in state. Otherwise, you're going to end up with all them student loans, this and that. And I said, okay. It cost seven. So she went and checked it. I said, go and check it out. So what are you looking at per semester? Per semester. And it was $35,000 or something. I'm going, okay, well, with some of this the scholarships and all that, and federal help, that's out. The FAFSA is out there. I said, okay. I said, now you're still, when you're done with all of it, you're probably still going to look at $75,000 to $100,000 in debt. So over 4 years, and per semester. So that's per year is how much? And she's like, okay. So she wanted to do that. It was $750 just to apply. But I had the money and I did it. Now, the reason I did that wasn't just because, okay, well, that's what she wants to do, so let her do that. I did it because my daughter, my youngest one, all my children, but my youngest one, fabulous child. Grades were always fantastic. And I wanted her, with all the work she had put in through all her school years, I wanted her to be able to choose. So she applied, and and it took about 2 weeks, and she comes to me and she's crying. She says, "Mom, it's not the $34,000 or $35,000 I told you. It's 56 or 57,000 a semester." And I'm looking, oh, now then we did the math, and I'm going, honey, are you sure you want to do this? This is this lot's starting to look scary now for you when you're all done. And she's like, I don't want to do this. Mom said, okay, let's check out the next one. And that's when she also went to this counselor and said, okay, this is what I want to do. Where can I find that here in Kentucky? UC. Okay. Of Kentucky. UCKY. And we looked into it, and it was, what was it, $75 to apply. And with us at the grades and everything she had to do exactly what she wanted to do in Georgia, here in Kentucky, if she kept up her grades during all 4 years of studying in college, no debt. Now I wanted my $750 back. Which more or less were non-refundable. Well, I wanted to give it a try at least. So we wrote them a letter and basically said, this is what it says in your advertisement online, and this is what she ended up with, and we can't do that. So please refund the money. And they did. They actually did. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. We had proof. I considered that false advertisement. Anyway, we got the money back. She ended up going to Eastern Kentucky University and did fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. Great campus. Um, very little. There's some partying and stuff going on, but it's very well supervised. They don't enclose the young people all in, but they're keeping a good eye on them. Yes? Yeah. Anyway. Oh, and she ended up qualifying for trips to all different places in the world, which she loved doing. So it was a good decision to make. The thing is, I thought, what if I would have not given her that choice? No, we're not doing that. That's way too expensive, and you can do that here, blah, 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 blah. And she would not have had this experience of, oh, I want to do this. I have my heart set on that. Now, mom's going to what? Squash my dreams. She came to the realization as the process went on herself, oh my gosh, what am I going to do with, close to what, $200,000 in debt when I'm done? Anyway, just saying, right? Yes. So there it is. So schools here, great little county, but the schools are wonderful, and the children are doing so well. Yes, yeah. It's great, and they have good help with things, and then the principal they have now, it's a woman. She's great as well. I mean, it's just fabulous on how she's dealing with students hanging out in the hallways, this or that, and amazing on the order, right? Yes, the children aren't just going to school, this and that, I don't know what, and la di da di da. There is order in our schools here. Yes, yeah, it's good. It's good for young people to learn how to be disciplined. Yes, such a great, valuable gift to give them into life, right? And of course, so grateful to the teachers here and the principals, they all, right? And my sister-in-law, who's a substitute teacher, people work so well together here in our school system. They really, really care about our kids here. Wonderful. Just wonderful. Yes? Yep. Anyway, okay, so there is that. I surely did not read with these glasses. Oh, did I have two pairs of glasses on? No, I did not do that. I need those to watch further away. All right, so we're done with this. I don't know why I got into the school thing, but I did. What was that? What was that now? Oh, they're doing so well. Again, all the stuff out there that people can find now on how bad the schools are and all the stuff that's being taught now that's just inappropriate. I don't know what. Yeah, well, okay, that may be going on in some places, but not everywhere. You see, not everywhere. And again, rather than getting resentful over things that, well, I'm not even a part of that. I don't have. Why are you trying to make me resentful over something that I can't do anything about? I don't live there. That's not my school district. That's not even my state that I live in. People, if there is resentment over certain things that are going on out there now, Well, then find a way to go and question that, number one. Again, find out first, how bad is it? How bad is this actually? How much hyped up is it? Yes? Is that just a trend that came and went? And get the proper information first before one adds more resentment, more, false information, hyped up information, already on top of what I just said. Then when the cookie crumbles, you're going, oh, wait a minute. That was like a puff of smoke or something. A bubble, all I have to do is just floop, go and check and really see what's inside. Yes? Okay. I've said this many times before. Certain things that are going on, especially in civilized countries, with in the realm of love, right? I always feel that when stuff like that comes up with, all kinds of different things in the realm of love that are not natural, this, that, or not in a cycle of life, and people are real loud about it, and about acceptance, and I don't know what, and who knows what, and to me, this is always a cry of help. They're asking for help, not just acceptance. And the best that I can do is pray for all of them. Pray for the people. Pray for those people that their unnatural desires, in all these realms, that lust, that drive for just sex, which is so dominant in all of those circles, that they can find that peace within them on what love truly is. Yes? Well, if one knows what love truly is, one doesn't have to go out there and holler all about it. One is an example of what that is. Don't you think? Yes. So, yes, I could talk about all kinds of things I'm resentful about that this or could be. But what am I doing? Trying to let everybody know. Look within yourself. That emotion, these emotions, these negative emotions, are not that someone else created someone else is creating out there and then shoving it your way. You're doing this to yourself. These emotions are taking a hold within yourself because you let them. You want them. You need them. Because it's always easier to blame somebody else out there. Always make somebody else responsible for your own problems. Right? Yes? Okay, that's all I have to share. Bloop, 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 bloop. Enough is enough. And then the other thing that came with that, creating rumors about somebody else who supposedly is this or that. Yet you don't even know them. I find that really odd. Okay, so there it is. Enough said. Now it became longer again. Not too long. Not an hour long like the other 2 days. Hey, need to drink more coffee? Yes. God's love and blessings always. May He protect you, and I will talk to y'all another time.